10 and 9. 2 Corinthians 10 and 9, it says that I may not seem as I would terrify you by letters, alright? For his letters say they are weighty and powerful, alright? Meaning, when the scriptures getting broke down, they carry weight and they're powerful. But his bodily presence is weak and his speech contemptible. Alright, contemptible meaning base, vile, despise, disdain. Meaning when Paul spoke, which this is a stigma, alright, upon GMS, that we speak rough, we use so-called foul language. We known for cursing out the black woman, the nigger woman, the women in general, right? And be calling people out. They say, oh man, they speak so profane and stuff. Basically saying our speech is contemptible, right? But when you look at what's the information that's being brought out with the scriptures, it has so much weight and it's powerful. It is undeniable. That's the spirit of Yahawashi. Alright? So this is how the people viewed Paul back then. Alright? Because when Paul, let me get that real quick, and I'll come back to that. When Paul spoke, he was rude. Alright? 2 Corinthians 11 and 6. But though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge, but we have been thoroughly made manifest among you in all things. That's right. So they thought of Paul speaking as rude, man. Alright? So it says 2 Corinthians 10 and 10, it says, for his letters say they are weighty and powerful, but his bodily presence is weak and his speech contemptible. Let such in one think this, that such as we are in word by letter when we are absent, such will we be also indeed when we are present. For we dare not make ourselves of the number, or compare ourselves with some that can command themselves. But they measure themselves by themselves, and comparing themselves among themselves are not wise. Meaning, you just do what Yahawashi has given you. Alright? Because, when brothers getting that, excuse me, I shouldn't say brothers, but when you have people that come in and that's their interior motive to try to reach the top by comparing themselves with other people and not being faithful in what they was given, then they're shown not to be wise. A good example of that would be the guy who the elders done deemed Sarge, who I call Bun Shagim, which is the guy that was part of the camp. His name is Ayashamav, which he's an agent, and the Lord's gonna destroy his ass. But that was a thing that he did. He tried to compare himself, alright, with the brothers in the camp, alright, and measuring himself by how much knowledge he thought he had. And then he went so far to try to compare himself with the elders and other camps, which isn't wise. And that's why the Lord ended up pushing him out. So, just be faithful with what the Lord gave you, alright, and he will increase you. But we will not boast of things without our measure, but according to the measure of the rule which the Most High have distributed to us, a measure to reach even unto you. For we stretch not ourselves beyond our measure, meaning what the Lord has given you, you stay, basically, you stay in your position, alright? The place where the Lord wants you to be at for that time, you stay there, alright? And you be obedient, working in what he has given you. Then he'll move you to the next level, alright? But don't stretch beyond, what the Lord has set you in the position you are, alright? As though we reach not unto you, for we are come as far as to you, also in preaching the gospel of Yahawashi. Excuse me. It says, not boasting of things without our measure, that is, of men's labors, but having hope, when your faith is increased, that we should be enlarged by you according to our rule abundantly, to preach the gospel in regions beyond you, and not to boast in another man's line of things made ready to our hand. But he that glorieth, let him glory in the Lord. Alright? So that's your whole thing is to glory in the Lord. You know? Alright. So let me finish this off right here in Ezekiel 3:17. This is why we go out and teach. The importance of teaching. Alright? This is Ezekiel 3:17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me. So when you go out there, you're supposed to warn. Alright? That's what we're doing. We're warning Israel. Alright? When I say unto the wicked, which this is not talking about Esau, the so-called white man, which is the wicked, but this is talking about wicked Israelites. Alright? Thou shalt surely die. That's going back to that judgment. Alright? Thou givest him not warning, meaning you tell him, okay, if you continue in what you're doing, the Lord gonna kill you. Then you bring it out in the scriptures. Nor speaketh to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life. The same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. So that really is for you brothers that's learning, but yet you being fearful and not trusting in Yahawashi to be with you when you go out there. Right? Because we are commanded to tell our people whether they hear or forbear. Alright? So you're supposed to warn them. Alright? But if you don't warn them, alright, or speak to warn to him, turn from his way, alright, so that his life could be saved, then he gonna die in his sin, but it's gonna be, his blood is gonna be required at your hand. Alright? So that's why we go out there and speak the word. It says, yet if thou warn the wicked, alright, so you warn the 2/3, alright, and he turned not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall surely die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. So that's why we go out and teach. Alright? And we do lessons, and lessons like this, or bring out the facts, so that one, we proving what we saying is true. Alright? We thoroughly proving it, so that those who come up and gainsay, they won't have nothing to say. They can't say anything. Alright? And by doing that, going in and breaking it down like we do, is to get the blood off of our hands, so that when people, they watch it, they have two choices. They can either hear it and apply it and turn from whatever they was doing, or they can continue, they can ignore it, continue doing what they was doing, their wickedness, and get put to death. But in the whole thing, we were made clean from the blood guilt of those people. Alright, verse 20, it says, again, when a righteous man doeth turn from his righteousness and commit iniquity, I lay a stumbling block before him, he shall die. Alright, meaning it was a brother that probably woke up, then he started going off. Alright, the Lord wanted to kill him, so he put a stumbling block before him and he died, because thou hast not given him warning. That's why we reprove people and rebuke them openly and sharply. That's why we get on these clowns, these other guys that's going off in a way that others may fear, and that they won't, do the same thing. So you're supposed to warn them. It says, because thou hast not given him warning, he shall die in his sin. Alright, so that wicked ass nigga gonna die. And his righteousness which he have done shall not be remembered, but his blood will I require at thine hand. Nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man, that the righteous man sin not, and he doeth not sin, he shall surely live, because he is warned. Also thou hast delivered thy soul. So with that, I want to say all praises to Yahawashi, double honors to the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to all the Akim out there teaching the truth and sincerity. Alright, this is the brother Atazawamia from GMS South Carolina. I want to say Shalom.